This is RTE FM3 Classical Radio. It's 8 o'clock and time for Aspects of Opera, in which Ted Courtney explores some favourite operas.
Good evening, and you're all very welcome to Aspects of Opera. No, we're not going to enjoy Bach, as the music might imply, since it's fugal in texture, but the opera Madame Butterfly by Puccini. The principal characters are Madame Butterfly, Cho-Cho-san, soprano; Lieutenant Pinkerton, U.S. Navy, tenor; Sharpless, U.S. Consul at Nagasaki, baritone; the Bonze, a priest, Butterfly's uncle, a bass; Prince Yamadori, a suitor, baritone; Goro, marriage broker; and Suzuki, Butterfly's servant and friend, mezzo-soprano. The curtain rises and we see a pretty little Japanese house. A marriage has been arranged between Pinkerton and a 15-year-old geisha girl, Cho-Cho-san, nicknamed Madame Butterfly. Now, Pinkerton's aria is introduced by the Star-Spangled Banner, where he celebrates the Yank, who takes us pleasure and profit indifferent to all risks. Now, I must remind you that the music throughout this opera has a flavour which is either Japanese or American. You do know, of course, that a Japanese marriage lasts for 999 years, with a monthly escape clause, of course. Now, Sharpless the consul, who is really a sage, tries to advise Pinkerton to be careful to a phrase that impresses itself on our memory. Da-dee-dum-bum-ba-dee-dum. You'll hear this little warning from Sharpless and from the orchestra.
Vagabondo si gode, traffica, sprezzando rischi. Affonda l'ancora all'avventura. Il pancio whisky, whisky. La vita non appaga se non fa suo tesori fiori d'ogni plaga, e un facile Vangelo d'ogni bella gli amor, e un facile Vangelo che fa la vita vaga, ma che intristisce il cor. Vito si turba, la sorte racciuffa, il suo talento fa in ogni dove, così vi sposo all'uso giapponese per 999 anni, salvo a prosciogliervi ogni mese. Facile Vangelo. America forever, America forever. Ed è bella la sposa, una ghirlanda di fiori freschi, una stella dai raggi d'oro, e per nulla sol cerco io, se vostra grazia mi comanda, ce n'ho un assortimento vento, ah, conduci la loro.
The wedding party is sent for. Butterfly leads the group. We hear her voice in the distance. She sings, "At the call of my heart, I stand now upon the threshold of the house where all blessings, be they of life or death, await me." Now there's a lot in that. You see, because her father was given a dagger by the Mikado and he commits suicide for whatever reason, she has kept this dagger. Now, it's painfully obvious that Butterfly is of better substance than Goro, the marriage broker, and the rest of her companions, and especially Pinkerton, the devil-may-care young American, that he's acquired her, you see, and he is a sort of a devil-may-care sort of guy. A bit of a wimp, if you like. Now, listen to when the music reverts imperceptibly to the dainty Japanese manner. Before we see Butterfly, we hear her voice soaring above the voices of the accompanying women. And in the orchestra, the soft tones of, I suppose, a motif will from now on be characteristic of her. It's built on a descending scale, do, ti, la, so, but Puccini arranged it thus, do, ti, so, la. The merry gathering is interrupted by the bonze. Now, the bonze is the priest, or the high priest, if you like, and he has lots of companions. He's also the uncle of Cho-Cho-san. He curses her for deserting her family and religion, but she can't help that. She's hopelessly in love with Pinkerton. Now, Puccini treats us to the magnificent tenor voice of Pinkerton and chorus in a transitory piece, or transition. Now, what I mean by that is that he keeps changing key. Now, this creates tremendous colour in the music, matching the colourful silks and cottons on the characters we imagine before us.
Ed eccoci in famiglia, sbrighiamoci al più presto, in modo onesto. Hip, hip. Ai dica basta, basta! Venite tutti, andiamo, che rinnegate noi!
There's always someone like that at a wedding, isn't there? But listen here to the love duet, the sweetest part of the opera, where they sing sweet endearments to each other. And to increase the passion, Puccini doubles voices and strings. And just wait for the solo violin with voice and harp.
Bimba dagli occhi pieni di Maria, ora sei tutta mia, sei tutta vestita di giglio, mi piace la treccia tua bruna, tra candidi inverni. E affascina i cuori e li preme e li amore e Dio si reca negli ardi reali. Ma intanto finor non m'hai detto, ancor non m'hai detto che m'ami. Le sa quella che alle parole e appaga gli ardenti desideri. Volessi dire non Salta paura, l'amor non uccide, ma dà vita e sorride per gioie celestiali, come ora fa nei tuoi lunghi occhi ovali. Adesso voi siete per me l'occhio del firmamento e mi piaceste davvero un momento che mi avete
farfalla
e con col tremare getta nel bagno ogni farfalla da una stella che non picca e di
un po' di vero c'è e tu lo sai perché non fugga più io toglier vita ti serro palpitante sei mia
sì per
vieni via dall'anima in pena l'angoscia paurosa e notte serena guarda dorme ogni cosa
dolce notte
vieni
quante stelle noi
e notte serena vieni e notte serena guarda dorme ogni sei mia via l'angoscia del tuo cor ti serro palpitante sei mia ti serro palpitante
And the curtain falls on the first act. Now you must remember there are only 2 acts in this opera, not 3 as some people seem to think. But 3 years have gone by, Butterfly now has a little baby boy, Pinkerton has gone and has not come back, but has promised to do so when the robins again build their nests. Did you hear them fluttering in the orchestra during the love duet? Now, Puccini's second act is a masterpiece of invention, style, and craftsmanship. I don't think Puccini ever surpassed it as a musical, dramatic unity. Listen here as Butterfly sings her aria, One Fine Day, her voice of hope balancing perfectly the full orchestra, which cries out her melody in a passion only to fade away in a pianissimo almost immediately. She sends Suzuki, her servant and friend, away, looking after her sadly. Here Butterfly tells Sharpless about the robins in what Puccini would consider, I suppose, a Japanese musical idiom. There is a lighter moment here as Butterfly rebuffs the advances of Yamadori, the prince. Goro, the marriage broker, can't believe that she's refusing the prince. In spite of her lack of money and family, she still waits for Pinkerton.
Non lo sapete, insomma.
No, dicevamo.
Ah sì, Goro appena e marito, or promette tesori per uno scivolino.
Il ricco gli amadori e la povera inganna, i suoi parenti l'han tutti rinnegata.
Yamadori and Goro leave. Sharpless tries to tell Butterfly the bad news. He has a letter he's trying to read to her, but he can't get a word in edgeways because every time Butterfly hears the name Pinkerton, she jumps up and down in joy and holds her heart. And you can just imagine how we feel when we see this little girl being duped by this awful wimp over in America. Our hearts cry out. Now listen to the duet, and as you do, the sad strains of the humming chorus can be heard.
Ora noi sedete qui, legger con me, volete questa lettera?
Date sulla bocca, sul cuore, siete l'uomo migliore del mondo. Incominciate.
Amico, cercherete quel bel fior di fanciulla.
Dice proprio così?
Sì, così dice, ma se ad ogni momento
Taccio, più nulla.
da quel tempo felice 3 anni son passati
Quanti lui li ha contati?
e forse Butterfly non mi rammenta più.
Non lo rammento, Suzuki, dillo tu. Non mi rammenta più.
Pazienza, se mi vuol bene ancora e m'aspetta. A voi mi raccomando, perché vogliate con circospezione prepararla
Ritorna!
al colpo.
Quando? Presto!
Benone! Qui troncarla conviene, quel diavolo d'un Pinkerton.
Butterfly finally knows the truth. With defiance, going into the inner room, she returns with the little boy in her arms to a sort of fanfare in the orchestra. And this, can he forget this as well, our little baby? The boat has finally arrived. The orchestra cry out the melody of One Fine Day against Butterfly's outpourings of love and hope. Pinkerton will surely love them again when he sees that she's got his little baby boy with blue eyes and golden curls. The little boy is truly an American, even though Goro is saying he is a nothing and would be a nothing forever. What a dreadful thing to say about a little baby. You'll hear the Star-Spangled Banner, but you'll also hear a menacing counterpoint in the basses. Now, Puccini has us well primed to tear out our hearts. Butterfly, her little boy, and Suzuki wait peeping through holes in the shoshi or partition to see Pinkerton. Time passes and only Butterfly stays awake. Moonbeams light up the shoshi from outside. From far away, voices can be heard humming. Now, musically, the melody is simplicity itself, limited in range, do up to la and down to so for sopranos and tenors. But listen to what a genius can do with that, and a little pizzicato. Morning comes as it always does, full of sunshine and beauty, but instead of Pinkerton, an American woman arrives, his American wife. Butterfly is told that Pinkerton will adopt the boy and realizes with an appearance of outward calm that she is to be left quite alone. She agrees, but asks to be left alone with her baby before they take him away. When Pinkerton comes to claim his son, he finds the little boy blindfolded and Butterfly dying beside him. Like her father, she has taken her life rather than live with a broken heart. With a weak gesture, Butterfly points to her child and dies. Now, the melody to her son is marked Andante Calmo and is called Sleep My Love. This simple childlike melody is heard in the orchestra when Suzuki calls Cho-Cho-san. The words, "You are with God and I with my sorrow," to which Suzuki adds a reflective, "Poor Butterfly," echoing our own sadness. So, on that sad note, I'm afraid it's nearly always a sad note, I bid you good night, wherever you may be. Good night.
Aspects of Opera was presented by Ted Courtney and produced by John Hughes. Next week, Ted Courtney will be exploring Wagner's Tannhäuser.